And we're live with another podcast. Mike here again with Jeff. Just another podcast with us too. But before we start, I just wanted to get a little heads up for people who listen to us or Jeff's podcast, like The Lamp, that we'll be doing pretty much a 2-day trade special.
Yes.
As in this Sunday, we're going to be doing a kind of what we expect. We're going to go through like every team,
what their needs are.
And then the next day we're going to do a kind of live trade block and kind of review kind of all the trades that happen.
Yeah, so we're probably going to do the podcast on Monday, for next week, that is. That one's probably going to be towards the a little bit later in the day, towards the end of the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, it might be like right before the 3:00 dedeadline.
Yeah.
That way we can review all the trades so far that happened.
Trades or anything
and
that
then
happens after.
And then, because some trades, although the deadline is at 3, some trades do roll in later between 3:05 and 3:10, like 5-10 minutes after 3:00 hits. So just keep an eye out for that.
This is going to be a long podcast. My mic's already going up.
I can at least, I think, like 3 times.
All right. But I guess for this podcast itself, we got a good amount to talk about. Obviously, Carter Hart still playing stellar. We have a few minor trades, depending on how you want to think about them. And a lot more to talk about a hot team in St. Louis. And I guess we can just kind of start going with the Edmonton Oilers in their past trades that they made a couple days ago, starting with the Flyers and trading away Cam Talbot for Anthony Stolarz.
Yes, that is Flyers getting Talbot.
Yes. And the Oilers getting Stolarz. But I want to get your thought. What did you think of that trade when you first heard it? I guess now,
right?
Having it sit in a couple days.
Because for quite a while, it was, Cam Talbot's name was definitely being thrown around there in trade, and not only that, but specifically to the Flyers. And you would think, Talbot for, they were talking, I don't know if it was like a goalie for goalie situation.
Yeah.
But if it was, it would have been like Talbot, and I don't know if it was like Elliott they were talking about, or I forget what the initial rumors I heard. But, and then,
because we were even thinking about it like the day or so beforehand, like what we could get for like Cam Talbot or Anthony Stolarz.
Exactly. And
it was
then
either on your podcast or we were just texting it back and forth. Like
we might have been texting,
Stolarz.
And then an analyst for Edmonton, Jim Matheson, was saying that Edmonton kind of would like Stolarz in any possible trade, and sure enough, that's what happened. 1-for-1, Anthony Stolarz for Cam Talbot. And my thoughts was, all right, I kind of like this because Talbot, I get it. Talbot's numbers have not been the greatest, but he's going to be a backup basically to Carter Hart. And for Talbot, he's 31. So far this year, he is 10-15-3, 29 games started, 31 games played. 3.36 goals against average and a .893 save percentage with 1 shutout. And then if you look at the last few years, he's played a boat full of games. So, for example, he played 67 games last year. He was 31-3, 3.02 goals against average and .908 save percentage. Generally, ever since his rookie year in New York in 2013-2014, his save percentage has gone down from mid .9, mid 900s now down to below .900. I think it's a good move because him and Talbot, that is, and Carter Hart have a great relationship. They train actually during the summer. And get this, Hart actually he actually called Talbot before his first career NHL start against the Detroit Red Wings, not about a month or two ago, and he just wanted to get some, get advice on like what to expect for pregame jitters and kind of what to expect throughout the game and everything. So I think that's pretty neat.
And also, and this is a little while ago, but in 16-17, he was 4th in the Vezina voting.
He was. And that year, he went 42, 22, and 8 with a 2.39 goals against
that
average.
was the one year they made the playoffs and lost to the Ducks, was it?
Yes, they beat the Sharks
in the
first
Sharks,
round, but that was a
lost,
huge upset. And then they lost to the Ducks in 7 in the second round. And then the save percentage was .919 that year. And he also had 7 shutouts that year, which is crazy. But no, so it's proven that Talbot can play a handful of games, and he's going to be a great veteran presence. My only thing with this trade is I was curious about the return. It's just because looking at Cam Talbot's contract, you have I just had it. Okay.
4.16.
Yes.
This year when it's a UFA. The Flyers had or still have cap space, so I don't think that was a big deal.
Right. It definitely wasn't that big of a deal for the Flyers.
In the worst case, you just don't re-sign him and you get that cap money back.
Exactly. But my thing is that
since he's 31, you'd think, okay, your past couple years outside of 16-17 haven't been great.
Yes.
We're going to probably pay you backup money.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the 4.1.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, you're getting now. You're going to get less because you're 31.
Yes,
and who knows how well you're going to be playing.
Exactly. That's spot on. And so
because the Flyers already have 30-year goalies, and we see what happens with them.
Well, my thing is that first, I'll finish my. I'll kind of go back of what I think about the trade, and then I'll get back into the contract because I'm glad you brought that up because I definitely want to talk about that. It was interesting to me because honestly, I thought the Flyers could have gotten maybe at least a pick, if not a prospect involved.
The same thing.
Because
I don't know about the prospect, but maybe a draft pick.
Not necessarily saying like a great prospect, just like a C-rated prospect,
kind of like what you got in the wheel trade.
Exactly,
like a minor kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Not that big a deal, but then again, a draft pick in this case probably would have been worth more. Maybe like a 5th or 6th round.
But at the
pick.
same time, this is kind of something I said to Mitchell before we go to this contract or whatever. Is that at the moment I feel like this is the best Stolarz has looked in a Flyers jersey. So right now, because I don't think he was in the Flyers' future. So I think
exactly, because
I think his trade value is greater now, and how he's the past couple of games he was playing great. And if you kept on to him, you don't know how well that would have gone, and his trade value might diminish. So, and the Flyers have been rumored to try to get a backup or like Talbot or whatever for a while now, or pretty much since November maybe.
Yep,
they're rumored to.
Because my thing about this is that kind of like what you said, Stolarz. Well, his contract, although he's going to be an RFA, his contract's up at the end of the year. Because I've been looking into it too. I think regardless, the Flyers are going to lose him at the end of the year. So it's like you might as well get something from him now rather than let him walk.
Because you have 2 more goalies coming next year.
Exactly.
At least for the Phantoms, you have Lyon for another year.
Mm-hmm.
And most likely this means you're just going to have Neuver and Elliott walk, which also isn't, I guess, guaranteed, but it's dependent on kind of like last year when he traded for Mrazek.
Yes.
And that you see how he plays through the rest of the year.
Exactly.
Because it can be exactly like Mrazek, where like the first 2 games or whatever, he's playing great, and then the rest
and after
just kind of
tailed off.
Yeah.
Which was unfortunate, because it
was unfortunate and also kind of almost cost the Flyers the playoffs.
Yes. Because for me, I actually liked Mrazek a lot.
Sure.
And I thought, like this. He was still only
like 25. Like, okay,
yeah,
still a little young.
Yeah,
still hard to believe he's only that young. But
he had playoff experience and everything, and I thought it was a great move.
Sure.
And
you kind of had to make the move.
You literally had to,
like this year.
Exactly. But
I still say we go for 10 goalies. Who's in 10 goalies?
Woo, 10 goalies. But if Talbot does play, he'll be the 8th goalie to play for the Flyers this season, and now it's also an NHL record. And it's going to happen at some point, of course. But
I guess we can kind of get to that contract or whatever.
Yeah. So, because for Talbot, he's a $4.16 million contract. His contract is expiring at the end of the year, but I think, honestly, regardless...
And I also think the Flyers... Sorry to cut you off there, but they make it because Carter Hart.
Yes. That's exactly it.
Cam Talbot had a few teams that he was willing to trade to. So he had to waive his no trade clause,
which
to
is
go to
interesting because
Philadelphia.
Philly was not on his initial list. He waived that, like you said, because one, Carter Hart.
Sure.
He is that great relationship, but two, he likes what the Flyers are doing. He likes the fact that they have a great streak going here and everything, and
he probably thought might have a better chance making the playoffs with the Flyers
than Edmonton right now. Yes. So I think, as much as I think performance matters for the rest of the year for Cam Talbot, I think he's here to stay on a cheaper deal for
Sure.
I could see
It depends what goalies hit the market and
that too, for sure. That's definitely a possibility. But my thing is that I think the Flyers will let him stay for the rest of the year. Well, obviously they will, but they will seriously consider re-signing him for a 2-year deal, maybe 3.
Maybe.
Actually, no, I take that back. Definitely a 2-year deal, but only like a $2.3 million deal or something like that. They would let both Elliott and Neuvirth walk. That's $5.25 in cap space right there.
Talbot to a couple mil a year.
You had
lose Lalatera contract. That's
exactly. You had the room.
And they actually got a pretty good goalie. If the only problem with Stolarz for Edmonton is that he does have an injury history.
Yes,
You
the
don't
2
know
hip
how
surgeries
and his knee.
Oh, sorry. The knee surgery and the hip surgery, not 2 hip surgeries.
You don't know how well that's going to hold up.
Exactly.
For the long
So
run,
this could
but
be.
he is a big size. He is.
Yes.
He's doing well since he's come back from his injury.
Yeah. So and obviously we do wish him all the best and everything, and we thank him for his time here in Philadelphia. And honestly, I've loved Stolarz the moment he's gotten here. He's a great
And
player.
It was almost a conclusion that coming into the season it was going to be a Lion. And
Yes.
Stolarz kind of went to the 4th goalie role.
Yeah.
Or 5th, however you want to see it.
But
at the beginning of the season.
Yes, and hats
8
off
tons.
to Stolarz for fighting his way to an NHL backup position basically, and so no, I think that Talbot is going to be.
I still don't know
here.
I don't know if his visa issue's been fixed yet or not.
If what's been fixed?
His visa. issue for why he hasn't
not
come.
entirely. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because
that's why he didn't travel to
exactly.
Detroit.
So what?
But the Flyers play tomorrow, so I'm assuming in the next.
Oh my god, that is tomorrow. Wow.
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Yes,
they have a busy week.
They do.
And I would think because if you have Hart start Tuesday against Tampa Bay, then Thursday. And then you have him start against Montreal, and then you have him play the outdoor game. That's a big boatload for the young guy.
Okay. Here it is. So the earliest. So Talbot is not going to be playing tomorrow. Sam Carchidi tweeted out last night, depending on how Brian Elliott feels after tonight's game with the Phantoms, he could be back with the Flyers and be available for Tuesday's game per Chuck Fletcher, who also said the earliest Cam Talbot would be available is Thursday. So that's kind of an issue right there. So it sounds like Carter Hart's going to get a boatload of starts. I don't know.
Unless you put McKenna against someone.
Yeah, and I want to take a look at the schedule for the next few games because
it's Tampa Bay, Montreal, then Pittsburgh.
Yes, in that order. I think you give Hart. This is so tough because I think you got to start Hart tonight against Tampa.
Tomorrow night.
Damn it. And then Thursday, start McKenna. My thing is, I'm assuming you'd start Hart for... Yeah. Because...
You have enough time in between. If you start him Tuesday, you don't start him Thursday because he has Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Well, not only that, but I'm saying...
He's got 3 days.
And also, there's a chance that the game might get moved to Sunday just because of the weather, because it might rain Saturday.
Right.
We'll have to double check with that, but that could affect the Stadium Series game, so they might have to push that back to Sunday. It might not happen, but in case it does, Sunday is the game, is the day that they'll play it.
Yeah.
But my thing is that I don't know if the Stadium Series game, I'm assuming they would start Hart, but the only question for me is, for some odd reason, would they start Talbot in that game?
I feel like they'd rather have Hart start the
right, and I'm okay with that. And then probably
that's Pittsburgh too, so I feel like
yes,
I don't know.
and then probably once they get back on the 26th in Buffalo, then start Talbot for a couple games.
Mm-hmm. And so start seeing him play more, but
exactly.
I guess we can.
Well, still with Edmonton, we
comment
on a huge change in there.
The same day.
Yes, Sam Gagner.
They got Sam Gagner back.
They got Sam Gagner back from Vancouver in exchange for Ryan Spooner,
who was playing for the Toronto Marlies.
Yes.
That's
so Spooner has been moved so many times; it's unbelievable. Let me see. Yeah. So he's been traded 3 times alone this year. Wait, hold on.
What?
No, I'm sorry. 2 times this year. He's been traded 3 times within the last 2 years. So he was initially traded from Boston to New York in the Rick Nash trade back on February 25th, 2018. Then he got traded back November 16th of 2018 for Ryan Strome. Then again, just 2 days ago for Sam Gagner.
Yeah. After he was just went through waivers and everything.
Yes.
And went to their AHL affiliate.
And then the other news regarding Edmonton,
which is good for Sam Gagner to find himself back to the team that drafted
him.
him.
And he's extremely excited. But imagine him and like Connor McDavid on the line. I think that'd be fun. I don't know if it would happen, but I'm just saying.
I don't know either, but I'm pretty sure Sam Gagner's the center.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. Damn. Well,
if anything, he helps a little more speed-wise.
Yeah.
Maybe they're back end or bottom 6.
Probably, like, top 9, if not,
yeah. Because I think at the moment he's bottom 6 at
this
point. Or at least where teams are willing to play him.
Right.
But, yeah. Those are the 2 most
and
recent
then
trades that kind
also for Edmonton, our old pal Brandon Manning got placed on waivers.
Our all favorite and Chicago Blackhawks' favorite defenseman.
Yes.
Brandon Manning has been gone through waivers.
And that will make room for Andre Sekera.
Mm-hmm. I would say poor Andrew McDonald. They're the same defenseman, essentially. But Brandon Manning.
Yes.
It sucks, but meh. He hasn't really been that great. I mean, it's pretty hard to make Andrew McDonald look better than you.
Right.
But I guess now are sticking to around the league before we kind of jump completely into the Flyers. But there is another hot team out there, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Who what I call, and I don't know if other people call, the Flyers of the West and the St. Louis Blues.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And how they're like the Flyers and how they started off the year pretty
very
slowly, very poorly. They even went out and saying they were going to trade everyone at the deadline. And now I don't know if that's going to happen because they are on a 10-game winning streak.
They are, and they're third
in
the Central and
After,
only
I'm pretty
6
sure
points behind Nashville.
At some point, I want to say they might have been at the bottom of the West.
Oh, they're at like the bottom of the league.
I don't know if they were like the last place, but I think they were.
They're awfully close.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, they did fire Mike Yeo earlier in the season, and Craig Berube has turned this team around.
No, he did the same thing when he went to the Flyers his first year.
Yeah, but then after that went downhill.
Exactly.
But my thing is, it makes sense for Craig Berube to be here in St. Louis because this team fits that. Because the reason why St. Louis is a better fit for him than Philadelphia is because St. Louis is more of a defensive team overall, and Berube brings that defensive style that we saw in Philly.
Yeah,
and it didn't work out that well in Philadelphia because you have too many great offensive threats for the Flyers. And, again, this is a huge reason why Vinny Lekevile's game went horribly and found himself to be benched because he wasn't used to that defensive plan.
Very short amount of time, Couturier kind of fell in the...
Yes.
You didn't really see him much because they only just threw him in the defensive zone.
Exactly. And that defensive strategy kind of ruined that Flyers team, especially players like Couturier and especially Lecavalier. That's why I think the Flyers
was an
fans
older
need to give
LeCavalier,
LeCavalier a little bit more of a break because sure you need to learn how to adapt
We
and everything.
traded him.
Yeah, huh?
We were the trade
Yes, somehow that's amazing.
for Wheel, but now he's gone.
Yes, and I'm sad.
Yep.
Also traded Luke Shen in that deal,
Mhm.
that was just amazing.
I know.
But yeah, so I think that St. Louis, they're extremely more of a defensive team,
Sure.
and it fits their style. You have players like
'Cause
Shattenkirk, Tarasenko, O'Reilly, Shen.
You have Tarasenko that's not like a Crosby type of or Ovechkin type great players that they're a guy that's gonna completely change your team or McDavid.
Yes,
if you want to put him in there
he's
too.
kind of like a Jonathan Tace. He's a great two-way player.
Sure, but you kind of need other people to help build around him.
Exactly, and that's why they went out and got Ryan O'Reilly.
Right. Because you weren't gonna get much with Braden Shen at center. Even though I think they still had Shen at center.
They did.
They might still, but I don't know. I don't pay attention to Blues enough, and the Flyers don't play them until April. So,
and also, so like some of the players, they have Ivan Barbashev, who's a great young player for the Blues. Tyler Bozak, they signed all season. Robbie Fabric, he's coming back. He came back after a very
thank you
tough.
for Morgan Frost, St. Louis.
Oh my God! Thank you, St. Louis. They signed Pat Maroon again. They have O'Reilly. They brought back David Perron.
Mm-hmm.
They managed to get Zach Sanford, Jaden Schwartz, Alexander Steen are there. Robert Thomas, Shen, Tarasenko, Oscar Sundqvist. I like him a lot. I think he is a great young player for the Blues that they got. That I think they honestly stole from the Penguins. He's only has 22 points in 50 games this season, 11 goals, 11 assists. It seems like a lot more than that, though, in my opinion. And I think he's having a much bigger role this year than he has in all three other seasons in the NHL so far. Mm-hmm. This is his second with St. Louis. He has 2 others with the Penguins.
Yep. But it's weird because I think we say this in every podcast how much mostly the West changes. Like every week we kind of do this, or every time we do a podcast, either here or on the Lamp and the 2 we did there. But it always seems like there's something different because for the longest time, St. Louis was on the cusp. Then they hit the wild card, now the third, and now it's always different. Because before, even Chicago was on a great run. I think they still are. They're 8-2 in the last 10.
Right.
But still, they're another team that at the beginning that were struggling, which is the exact opposite of Colorado that started off great and has kind of fallen off. Who I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs now. 1-6-3 in their last 10.
I think they got to make some sort of move.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that
Edmonton
is.
Had to too because they're 1-7-2 in their last 10.
They might need to make multiple moves. I honestly, I don't know if. Actually, I need to take a look at our favorite page on Cap Friendly because I want to look at their cap space. The reason being, I want to see. This is gonna be tough because for Colorado, where they currently are, they sit 3 points out of the second wild card spot.
They're gonna get the first overall pick because they have it from Ottawa.
And for Ottawa,
currently in
Ottawa's dead last in the entire league.
So they have the best odds of the lottery, which will go to Colorado.
Yes, and remember, Ottawa has to give up their pick this year because they had the option to do it last year, but they used it to give it to draft Brady Tkachuk.
I still think they should have done it for this year.
Yeah, because Jack Hughes.
At worst, you would have gotten the same spot.
Yeah, exactly.
At best, your first overall.
And you would draft Jack Hughes. Yeah. But now there's a great chance that Jack Hughes will be a member of the Colorado Avalanche. Exactly.
Or he might be in
Edmonton.
Or Edmonton. Because right now the bottom teams are LA, Edmonton, and Ottawa.
But literally, look at this. Colorado, they have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds alone. Their first, second, and third, along with Ottawa's first and third, they have a 5th, 6th, and 7th. They just don't have their 4th round pick this year. But for Ottawa,
the next couple of years, they have a good amount of picks.
Yeah, Colorado.
They're set for a while on picks.
They are. Not only that, but they have $11.53 million cap space. So I think
if they really want to make a splash and get some, I don't know if they're in the market for Simmons.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to bring it up.
They have draft picks to use if they want to try to trade for
exactly.
If they still think they can make a playoff push, which it doesn't matter because they're still going to get a great draft pick.
Exactly.
And with Ottawa.
Go after Wayne Simmons. I was literally just about to bring it. I'm glad you did. Not only that, but
I don't know if they're in the. I think they might have had a scout in the game in Philadelphia against Detroit. They might have.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
There's been a lot of scouts watching.
Obviously.
Like literally, there's been 12, 15 scouts almost per game. It's unreal. My thing is that I don't know who.
A lot of their players are UFAs or RFAs.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
that's why they have so much cap space.
That makes sense. They got re-signed Seven Andrew Ghetto, Gabriel Bork, Alexander Kerfoot, JT Comfer, Miko Rantanen, AJ Greer, Andrew Agazino, Patrick Namath, Nikita Zadorov, Ryan Graves, Samon Varlamov. Also Colin Wilson, he's on the injured reserve. Same thing with Vladislav Kamenev, but their contracts expired too.
And Ian Cole.
Yes, oh my gosh. But my thing is that I think Colorado, believe it or not, they could be a great fit for Wayne Simmons. And that could be that push that they need for the playoffs because Simmons could go on their second line because that first line's untouchable.
Both
it really
Detroit
is.
Games kind of showed why people want a player like Simmons.
Yes.
Because we saw that hit on Giroux.
Exactly. So, and
Simmons,
for those who don't know what we're talking about, there was a horrible hit by Anthony Mantha against Claude Giroux, obviously the captain for the Flyers. When Giroux was already on his knees,
the puck was
Mantha,
far away.
Yes, Mantha cross-checked him into the boards. Got
nothing.
Got nothing. Not even a call from the league, but I'm not surprised there. Anyway,
But I don't get it, though, because if I know people have their thinking of Claude Giroux and everything for star-wise, and they think he's not as valued as much as probably true.
Right.
But because he is a captain of an NHL team.
Yeah.
So I think the league would if it was Crosby, he would get a suspension right away.
He'd get like a 5-10 game. It would be a 5-minute major game misconduct and at least a 5-game suspension because it's Crosby.
If it was McDavid, he would get a suspension. If it's someone else, but for some reason, whenever it's Giroux,
they look the other way.
But he's a captain of an NHL team, and he's done. He was No, he wasn't.
No, he was a Hart. He was in the running for it.
Yeah,
he got screwed out of it though, but
still, he's still Giroux, and he's put up all these numbers. If you still think he's a star talent in your league, then I think you'd have a little
more respect to him.
Yeah, which obviously the Flyers had because a lot of people went after
Mantha.
Went to his aid.
Well, that was
first Lawton tried to, but
and then Gudas tried to, but Mantha was being disrespectful and wouldn't answer the call.
Well, that and also I think the Flyers didn't want to give Edmonton that spark, Detroit that spark to kind of come back to the game.
Right.
Even though they already did, they didn't because that's kind of the difference with the NHL now is there's not as the fighting has gone down, but that's just because you're not finding a shooter because they don't want to have that be
a reason to get back into the game, which I get.
Which is why Simmons went to the next game.
and then yesterday's game or last night's game, like 40 seconds in, Simmons and Mantha dropped the gloves, and I'm glad Mantha realized that he had to answer the bell to someone, and it was a pretty solid fight. But that just shows what type of person and player Simmons is. He'll protect your top guys. Yeah. Not only that, but besides Gabriel Landeskog, what tough guy do you really have in Colorado's lineup that could answer the bell for someone? Not really many people. Not many. But that's why I think that if you put Simmons into their lineup, he automatically goes to that second line.
He also gives you a little more grit.
He does.
I don't want to use the word, but yeah, he gives you a little more grit.
He does. And looking at dailyfaceoff.com, looking at the Avs lineup. Obviously, Landeskog, McKinnon, Rantanen, that line's remaining the same. Then you have Alexander Kerfoot, Tyson Jost, and JT Compher. 2 of those 3 are rookies. I like both Tyson Jost and JT Compher a lot. I think they're great players, but I think Simmons could easily replace, well, frankly, anybody on that line, but preferably Kerfoot.
Oh no,
what's that?
We'll get to it.
Oh boy, I don't. Is it good news, bad news?
No, it's just a surprise. I didn't realize something. Go on.
All right, I'm very curious now, but yeah, and I think he would fit in very well with them. My only other thing is that I want to look at who the Avs like top prospects are, because I think the Avalanche would definitely throw in like a 2nd-round pick and a top prospect, or a 1st-round pick. We'll kind of gotta go back to cap friendly here. Honestly, I think they would have to. It would. There's no way, because Ottawa's pick, that's way too valuable. There's no way anybody's getting that.
They're
pick.
not getting rid of that pick.
Exactly. I could see them
they
getting
get rid of the third
their
round.
own. No, I'm saying
third-round pick to go.
Well, that too, but
that's the only pick I would see if they did.
Well, I'm saying Colorado. I could see Colorado giving up their own 1st-round pick that they initially owned, not Ottawa's pick.
Mark Alt.
I remember you. But honestly, I don't really see the only player that I really see. Oh, they have him too. Actually, I like 2 players that I really see the Flyers going after if they make a trade. Is either Cale Makar, who currently plays at UMass in the NCAA. He's a defenseman. 29 games played. He has 34 points, 10 goals, and 24 assists. Or Shane Bowers, who plays for Boston University, 18 points in 28 games, 10 goals, and 8 assists there. Those are 2 of my preferably top favorites. They do have Brandon Sagan, though, who has 84 points.
Any relation to Tyler?
In 57. Well, it's... I think Sagan. Sagan. That's what it is. Not Sagan, but nice try though.
Yeah.
84 points in 57 games. He's split time between the Oshawa Generals, where he had 21 points there in 17 games, and the Hamilton Bulldogs, 40 points, 25 goals, 38 assists for 63 points. So again, that's probably that's looking like their top prospect right now in Brandon Sagan. So that is a very possible option. He's currently playing for Oshawa. Yeah, I think if they're already, the Flyers were to go after someone like Sagan, he's a center, so maybe not, because they don't really need much help on the center, really.
Not really.
They could go after maybe Nick Henry. He's a right wing. He started off the season with the Regina Pats in the WHL, got traded to the Lethbridge Hurricanes. So far, he's 74 points in 57 games combined, 21 goals, 53 assists for both teams overall. I think that would be another good pickup there as well.
Yeah.
So that's my little spiel about them there. But I think Colorado could be a great fit for Wayne Simmons, because they have plenty of cap space too.
Sure. But more importantly, to what I was reacting to is that Boston jumped Toronto in the standings. By a point, but
still.
34-17-8.
Wow.
Boston 36-19.
And then no one's catching Tampa Bay. So you literally just got to hand Tampa.
Look at the last 10 games of all 3 teams.
Wow. 7-1-2 for Tampa, 7-0-3 for Boston, 7-2-1 for Toronto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yes, it is.
Ugh, man. And the Penguins.
Boston is significantly better, or significantly kind of better at home than they are on the road.
Yes.
21-7.
Oh, no, they're much better at home than on the
13-10
road.
and 5 away. Yeah.
Yeah. Both them and Tampa Bay, they're on a 5-game win streak.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa plays Columbus next. They're in Columbus.
Boston's on a point streak.
They are. And then Boston is in San Jose. play tonight?
The Flyers beat them twice.
Woo.
But I guess we can that's kind of the big things,
Yeah.
league-wise. And since we kind of talked about them the whole podcast, why not we talk about them more and the Flyers and their star goalie and Carter Hart.
Oh
We
my
already
gosh,
kind of brushed
yes.
on him a little bit and when we were talking about Cam Talbot, but wow. Could he have a boatload of work in the next couple of games? Which obviously just, one, helps his confidence and the confidence in and Chuck Fletcher and the Flyers having him play back-to-back games and everything.
Yes.
I don't think it hurts his development at all either. If there's people that say, oh, it's just going to hurt his development, it might, but
It probably isn't.
it's not going to either because it's just going to help him a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Because even once he hits the NHL, he's going to have to get used to playing multiple games anyways,
Yeah.
depending how the Flyers use him. But last night he stopped, 37 or 38 shots?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they're 3-1 win over Detroit after a kind of shaky game before where he let up,
Yeah.
where they came back and everything, but not all those goals were his fault. A lot of them are kind of deflected, which seems to be his way this year. Is that at least on his hot streak is that the only way teams can score is kind of that deflection kind of thing, or Crosby where they kind of
that was just a weird one.
Yeah, very lucky.
Yeah.
No one paying attention.
He's 13-6-1 this year.
Part. What?
He's 13-6-1.
Yeah,
That's unbelievable.
That's why I posed the question to you last night.
Yes.
That if he helps the Flyers make it to the playoffs, they're 6 points out right now. If the Penguins would have lost, it would have helped a lot more. But there's 6 games out. They if he helps the Flyers make the playoffs, is he in the running for Vezina? Finalist. Not winning it.
Not
just
winning,
a
but a finalist.
Because right now,
he's a 2.53 goals against average and a .924 save percentage.
And 20 games or more played in the league, he's 10th in goals against and 4th in save percentage with 20 games played.
I think if he really does help the Flyers get to the playoffs, I'm going to say you can argue that Carter Hart is a finalist, if not very close to a finalist for the Vezina.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying top 5.
The only thing that would go against him is the same reason for Bergeron last year not getting the Selke, is that he was out for most of the year.
Yes.
Hart only came in, December? He came up for the Flyers. There's still like 2 months or so where he wasn't playing, so that might give him some flack or whatever. And it depends on what they're looking at, because sometimes they look at wins.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's that way, it's Fleury, because he has the most shutouts tied, and he has the most wins in 29.
Yeah.
If we're going at goals against and save percentage, Robin Leonard's killing in both categories. Well, goals against. Or Thomas Greiss, sorry. And, Thomas Greiss and Robin Leonard have really been killing it for the Islanders, which is why they've done so well this year. It's weird to have 2 goalies for one team be the top in both goals against and save percentage.
Yeah. Do you know what's crazy? I'm looking at all these stats now. Despite John Gibson having a pretty bad year, he's still doing well. .914 save percentage, 2.93 goals against average.
Yep.
Wow. Fleury, 2.61 goals against average. Also, honestly, I'll say it right here. I think your finalists for the Vezina are Devin Dubnyk, .909 save percentage, 2.67 goals against average. He's 21-20-5, however. I'm marking him down. You might argue Fleury, 29-18-4.
And
almost identical numbers to Dubnyk, .908 save percentage, 2.61 goals.
And then you can
average.
obviously argue both either or of the Islanders goalies. Vasilevsky, obviously.
Oh, Vasilevsky, hands down.
Halask has had a great year, too. He didn't do great last night, but he's had a great year so far.
Vasilevsky, 25-7-4, .9. Actually, yeah. Just looking at this, .928 save percentage and a 2.32 save percentage. Sorry, I got them mixed up. .928 save percentage, 2.32 goals against average. Bishop for the Stars, .924 goals against. Sorry, .924 save percentage, 2.30 save percentage.
If we're looking at save percentage, Carter Hart's right near the top. He's only 6 points from Grice.
Yeah.
He's a little farther behind in the goals against.
There's like 3 goalies that are way up there because they've only played in 2 or 3 games, so they don't really count. But for Hart, he's already played in 20 games, but he's a .924 save percentage. He's tied with Bishop for that. His goals against average is 2.53, which still isn't horrible. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So I'd be
Hart
content.
has played the most games out of any Flyers goalie this year.
I know. I'm also content with that as well.
Yeah, that's hard to believe, but
yes,
that happened. Elliott only played 14, 7 for Neuvert.
Wow.
I think Pickard had a good amount too, but not that much, obviously. And he's not here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's good to think about because it's weird because except for starting off slowly this year for the Phantoms, kind of, it really started in middle of November, his hot streak for Hart.
Yeah.
If you're counting his AHL stats. And I don't know if it's going to stay, but knock on wood, every league he's played in or everywhere he's played, it's always been dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is going to be the biggest task for him this is the hardest one to be in is the NHL. But at 20, he's killing it.
He really is.
He's already made his way in the record book.
I know. For the 8 consecutive victories.
Tied for
so
most.
Not only that, but I think it's kind of safe to say he could, especially if he keeps it up, he could be a Calder Trophy finalist as well. I think it would be between Pettersson, Hart, and who else?
I want to look at some of the rookie stats. I'm trying to find them.
I'm trying to think of just in general the top NHL rookies because it's definitely I think easily Pettersson will be a finalist. I'm just trying to figure out. Because I don't even, would you just look up league leaders or what would you look up?
It depends what you're looking at, too. Because literally, Pettersson leads in all the points categories. Points, goals, assists for rookies. There's obviously Kuhan.
So Pettersson, he has 54 points in 49 games, 26 goals, 28 assists. Rasmus Dahlin, 32 points, 6 goals, 26 assists in 58 games. Svechnikov, Brady Tkachuk, and Jesperi Kotkaniemi all have 27 points. Lindblom's up there at 22 points. Woo.
Brady Tkachuk, maybe?
Possibly.
Svechnikov's doing well.
Yeah.
Lindblom's got up there.
I forgot. Andreas,
he's considered a rookie still.
He is. Andreas Johnson. Technically, he's a rookie. 31 points in 51 games played.
If it's not Hart or a defenseman, because I'm not really.
I think
defensive kind of stats that way. It's between Pettersson and Hart.
I think Pettersson, Hart, and would you argue Dahlin is a finalist? Yay or nay?
Sure, I can put him in there.
Okay. So for right now, we'll say Pettersson, Dahlin, and Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's crazy. And the Flyers have not ever had a Calder.
They never had a Carter Hart before?
Yeah, no, until now. A Calder Trophy winner. They did have 2 finalists before. One of them was Shane Gosper, but he lost to Artemi Panarin, which is I'm still calling bogus. because Panarin was still no way a rookie, but he was apparently. And there goes your mic.
I meant to do that.
Oh, okay. And then there was another year where, hold on. Oh, okay, that's why. It was Glenn Hall. No, that's not it.
Okay, let's be real here.
What?
Panarin won over McDavid that year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No, I'm just saying he won the Calder over Connor McDavid.
Yes.
But Connor McDavid, wasn't that when he got hurt by
yeah, Manning.
Manning? Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews last year. That was a great class in 2017.
It was
Matthews,
awesome.
Line and Werenski.
Yeah, Werenski is so good.
Last year, Barzell, Beausier, and Clayton Keller.
Who's the second one?
Brock Beausier.
Oh, Besser.
Besser.
I was like, Beausier.
Sorry.
You're good. Threw me off, that's all. But I think it's I think it's gonna be between those three.
Yeah.
For right now. But it's amazing just watching Hart play.
Yep.
And he literally stole a game yesterday
Yeah, he
against
did.
Detroit.
That's the only reason why we won is because of Hart.
Exactly.
Because the Flyers did not play their best game.
They did not.
But also, something I mentioned on your podcast the last time we did it is that if Shane Gostisbehere got a goal, that maybe that would start turning his game around.
And
he scored in Detroit.
the first Detroit
first
game at home.
Yeah.
And you could tell
that actually got a lot of off him too, because that game I didn't really see much of it, but he looked good there, and last night he looked pretty good too.
Yeah. No, in the first game against Detroit, he looked great after his goal.
Scored. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like a much different player. It was awesome to see him regain his confidence throughout the rest of the game. And then how do you think he looked yesterday?
Pretty good. He put up 2 points. He
did.
a goal and assist the other night, and
then last night I don't think he put up any points.
Nope, he did not.
But
he only played 12 minutes.
Yes.
He played 18 the game before, though.
Okay.
But I guess the minutes, because they had Myers play, would be a little askew because they had 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I think from what I saw is that he looked pretty well. He looked like he had his speed back and everything. I think that's kind of what helped. But as I kind of alluded to before, or like a minute ago, the Flyers had another young player make their debut, and Phil Myers.
Yes.
That's kind of been like a week after his like call up or whatever, but he finally made his start when the Flyers started 7 defensemen, and he actually helped on the Provorov goal.
He did.
He at least helped keep it in. He didn't get a point on it, but he helped keep the puck in the Flyer or in the Red Wings end, which then managed to find Provorov's stick like a minute or so later, and he scored. Or a couple seconds later, and he scored.
Yeah, and then for Myers, here's a great quote here for Philly.com. Myers, who starred with the Phantoms this season, said, after the game, obviously, I had a couple of butterflies before the game, but once I got a couple shifts in, I just tried to keep it simple and play my game like I've been all year. The jitters were gone, and it was just a game. I was just trying to enjoy the moment and do my job. And I think he did a great job.
You saw that in the third period, obviously, when he helped in that goal, but even on the Bruck, as they mentioned, how
for sure
he was aggressive and how he kind of had that confidence.
There was
I think it helps one that he had Scott Gordon obviously back.
Yes, and I think that really helps.
A lot of his defensemen right now, Haig, Sanha. I don't know. I don't think he played with Haig.
Yeah, he did.
Did he, Myers? I don't think he did.
I thought he did.
No.
But anyway,
But
I'll look
he
that
had
up.
he was playing with Sanheim all last year, and I don't really think he played with them much, but he was back with familiar faces. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Obviously, Hart and Ed again. He had
Yeah.
a bunch of games having to play in front of him.
Exactly. So he's
Baroni,
getting comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wonder what that means going forward defensively, though. I hope he gets a little more
right.
looks.
That's crazy. I just realized.
Which I hope it's that way because even though McDonald had 7 blocks, he did not have a great game last night.
No, not even close.
The past couple games, he hasn't really looked that great. But it's just McDonald, and you're McDonald himself. That's just him.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole reason why Fletcher hasn't changed anything is because because the Flyers have been doing so well, he doesn't want to change anything because of how well they've been playing. Which is why they haven't been playing Myers. But for some reason, I guess there's the fourth line that he's seeing some thing that he wants to keep changing because
right.
Vorobiev went back down.
Yeah, no, you are right. Sanheim did not play with Myers.
No. Yeah, no.
It was 17-18. But do you know what I just realized, though? I'm looking at the stats. Phil Myers only had obviously this year, too, 1.5 years in the AHL.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You could say Hart had not even half.
Yeah.
He had a quarter.
Well, Hart is a special guy.
Right.
So
Ghost only had half a year.
that's fair, yeah.
He came up in December.
Yeah, well, because he was playing for Union College.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying the Phantoms. My bad.
Phantoms.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
because he came up in December or whatever. And that
he
helped.
did. Oh, what were we saying beforehand though? It was about Sanheim. Vorobiev.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
he was sent
I
down.
think they did find their fourth liner in Bailey.
Yeah.
But he was a healthy scratch last night just because they wanted to see.
Yeah.
What,
My thinking of that was just kind of it was a back-to-back and how they almost lost or how they had the Red Wings came back last game. They want to kind of shore up a little more defensively, so they felt a little more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Seventh defenseman than fourth liner.
Yeah.
That's my only thinking of why they would have done it. Unless what you said before we got on the podcast is that he has some injury that wasn't disclosed or hasn't been announced or said. Which you won't know today because the Flyers have a day off.
Yes, and they're going to be in Voorhees tomorrow at 10:30 for morning skate.
Which I have to believe that's going to be a lot this week as they play a lot.
They do.
Because I wonder if Wednesday they have another day off. Because this is a busy week. Well, I guess the remainder of the season is going to be busy for them, but still. They have 5 games and 11 nights. It's a lot of hockey.
Wow.
All against good opponents, too.
Yeah.
Because Buffalo's still on the cusp, but they play Tampa Bay, and Montreal's still on the cusp, too. But Tampa Bay, Montreal, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Columbus. That's not an easy task.
It really isn't.
And I wonder if, because of the high stick on Raffle, if the outdoor game is the retaliation
it's going to be
game,
extremely chippy.
Is it that game, or is it going to be the following game?
Stadium
they play?
Series game, because it's in Philly, you know? Because then the next game, it should be in Pittsburgh, I believe.
Right, but the only reason why I think it might not be that is because it's the outdoor game, and I don't know how chippy you're going to be on the outdoor game versus if you're inside or whatever. So that's why I'm wondering if it would be that game or the following game.
Well, regardless, Evgeny Malkin's going to get a lot of boos when his name's announced Saturday.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a great one, though.
Yep.
I'm very much looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yep. It's the start of a busy week. It is.
Yes.
In a couple hours, a week until the trade deadline.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it so much.
Or I guess by the time this podcast is out, it will be a week.
Yes.
But yeah. I think that's where we're going to end, but be sure to look out for our our trade deadline specials. It's the Sunday before and
then Monday
during.
afternoon.
Yeah. We'll get our takes on it and everything. What teams or what we think would be buyers and sellers and everything. The Sunday, and then how we think the winners and losers and everything.
Yes.
Out of the whole thing.
Before,
And I think I also want to, just to say it now, is kind of the trades beforehand, not just those trade deadline trades, the trades that have come at the beginning of the month and everything.
Yeah.
And just kind of see if everything they've made has helped improve the team, or if it's really set in stone what will happen.
Right.
But until then, we'll see you.